What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 437th episode of the Pokemon Podcast. It's super effective. I'm your host, SBJ. With me, Greg.
Hello, I am here. I am 1/500th of the way to level 40 in Pokemon GO.
You're doing it.
Is that why you had to trade a Pokemon with me this morning?
I did, because I realized I'd never finished that jumpstart thing.
Because
I needed to trade, and it was always close. Then I wasn't near anybody. So then I was like, oh, I should just clear some of this out. And that got me to 1/500 millionth of the way towards the thing I'm never going to get.
With the thing you're never going to get being level 40?
Yeah.
You'll get there.
40 before the end of the year.
Before the end of the year.
What? Why does it have to be before the end of the year?
Because then you get the Gyarados hat.
I get the Gyarados hat as the only special thing.
Well, Greg, we can do this. We can work on it. We can do this.
I need people, Bobby, to open the gift I sent them. Bobby,
I need to get rid of everybody you currently have as a friend in Pokemon Go and get 200 new friends and just be like adamant, diligent. And it has to start tomorrow. That by December 30th, you can like get to that 30-day friendship level or something. I think it's too late. I think you're lost out.
Yeah, I'm working it as hard as I can at this
how
point.
Much XP do you need from 39 to 40? 2 million?
No, it's 5.
Oh, 5 million?
I put it in Twitter. Hold on, let me go
look. So what's 5 million divided by...
nobody uses Twitter. What are you, a boomer? Nobody uses Twitter anymore.
What's 5 million divided by 30? How much XP is that a day? Will is also here.
Yeah.
And unrelated to Greg's Pokemon Go dilemma, if you go to Target on the day after they restock the shelves with Pokemon cards with a shopping bag, and you grab 10 of them Champions Pass because those are the only 10 they have on the shelf because they're on discount for $10, and then you're just going to resell them on eBay, you're a bad person.
Wait, your Target doesn't have a limit?
I
feel like every Target I've gone to in the last 30 days have had like limit to Pokemon cards per person.
Yeah, I've seen that at mine, but...
Well, when I was down in Houston, that's not what I saw.
It's a whole different
Texas
country down there.
All right, I need 4,881,000 experience points, which means I have to do 162,714 experience a day through the rest of this year to meet that goal.
Okay, that's
to get a Gyarados hat?
That's like...
that's a best friend a day.
You said that's a best friend a day. You said 130,000?
162,000 experience points a day.
Well, this is easy, Greg. Yeah, that's just 8 raids a day, because a raid gives you 20,000 with a lucky egg. We do have a show for you guys. The big news story is the Uri Geller thing, so we will get to that.
Okay, the bigger news story, to me, is Uri Geller is still alive.
Oh,
really?
I was going to say the bigger news story is how many people didn't know Kadabra cards were not being printed. That is like the actual news story. It's the amount of people that had no clue that this was actually a thing for the last 20 years. So I guess we'll talk about that.
I could have swore Uri Geller died, but guess not.
Poor James Randi did before Uri Geller. That's like sad.
I figured James Randi would have taken him with him.
One would only hope.
We got some TCG stuff, some Pokemon Go stuff, some Pokemon Masters stuff, some Pokemon Cafe Mix stuff. But let's start with the announcement of an announcement. It's a very Pokemon thing. They love doing this. So the announcement of the announcement was at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, where they revealed that next year is their 25th anniversary. Which, for probably anyone listening to the show, is like, how is this news? Because we've been talking about this. We know that, when Sun and Moon came out in 2016, that was their 20th anniversary. They made a pretty big deal about that. That was the same year Pokemon Go launched. That was the year of Mythicals. That was the year Sun and Moon launched. They did a whole brand new plush line for that. I believe they opened up a brand new Pokemon Center in Japan during that time. That was also when they released XY Evolutions, which is their best-selling TCG set of all time. That was in November of 2016. That was the set where they reprinted base set, and that set had like 6 different Charizards in it. So a lot of things happened in 2016, and now this is going to be their 25th, which I would say most companies do a bigger thing for their 25th than they do for their 20th.
I would, yes. It's more of a more notable anniversary, typically, yes.
I'll just read what they have on Pokemon.com. It's really, really short because, again, this is an announcement of the announcement. They said, the famous Pikachu soared among the skyscrapers of Manhattan in the 2020 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. The iconic Pokemon appeared holding a snowman Pikachu and wearing a scarf in preparation for the cold weather. A special troupe of dancing Pikachu accompanied the balloon, revealing the logo for the 25th anniversary coming in 2021. Held in New York City on Thanksgiving Day, November 26th. This is the 20th time that Pikachu balloon proudly took its place in the prestigious parade. Have a happy holiday season. We look forward to more news for the 25th anniversary here on Pokemon.com. Overall, the announcement was pretty much nothing. I do think that this is a 700 IQ play by the Pokemon Company. Big brains here, because a lot of non-Pokemon fans watch this parade, and it is a good way of letting people know that next year is going to be a big year and put Pokemon on their radar early. I don't know. I guess that stuff works. Like, I know, like, for me personally, like, Harley Davidson is here in Milwaukee where I live. And the only time I really hear a lot about Harley Davidson is like every 5 years when it's one of their anniversaries, because they make a big deal about it in the city. Like the 30th, the 35th, the 40th. I'm not sure what year they're on. I think they're over 50.
Yeah, they've been around a while.
Yeah, I guess this makes sense to put that seed out there for people.
So Kanto remakes next year?
We can only hope.
25 years, play it again.
Okay, so what would they have on the docket next year? They would have Pokemon Unite.
Is that going to happen?
Yeah, I don't see...
Yeah. The only thing that's not going to happen is Pokemon
Sleep, yeah.
Yeah, if you're in China, you can play it, technically. Because they're...
Pokemon Sleep?
No, Unite.
Oh.
Because they have a beta program going on right now. So Unite, Snap, Pokemon Snap, Detective Pikachu.
The new Pokemon Snap. Thank you very much.
Sorry, the new Pokemon Snap. So that's 3 games right there. Unite, Snap, Detective Pikachu. Maybe Sleep, so that's 4.
Sleep is not happening. They've never talked about it again.
That's true. I will say that for what it's worth, the company working on Pokemon Sleep also made Magikarp Jump, and Magikarp Jump did have an update last week.
Somebody finally hit the button they meant to hit 2 years ago.
Yeah, so that's probably a good sign. That's actually probably...
Is that an expansion?
No, it just fixed a bug, I think, on iOS 14.
Wow.
But that is legit a good sign. You know, if they didn't have a contract with the Pokemon Company, they probably wouldn't have been able to update or whatever. Or it wouldn't care to update, because why bother at that point? I would probably expect another new mobile game, right? They've been pretty much putting out one mobile game a year.
Well,
I guess maybe that's Unite.
It's not going to be a tower defense game. I'm out.
No. We're getting a new expansion of Pokemon Shuffle, a new version of Shuffle.
I still strongly believe they're going to really push forward with their live events, especially with Pokemon Go, regardless of the world. Probably a game on Switch. I can't imagine that their 25th anniversary, they're not going to put a game on Switch, whether that's... The only thing I would be confident in saying it won't be is a Generation 9. They usually like their generations to breathe and get their mileage out of it. So
it is going to be a DLC for Sword and Shield that brings you to Kanto.
Oh my... Perfect. Well, I suppose all the announcements are probably going to be made in February, because that's Pokemon Day is February 28th. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, February 28th, I think.
It's not my anniversary?
Because that's when the green and red came out in Japan.
Yep.
I would not be surprised, actually.
February 27th. I knew it wasn't on my anniversary.
My bad. I would not be surprised if they are to do another Detective Pikachu movie, if we hear about it next year. Not necessarily we get it, but we at least hear about it. Oh, they're probably going to put the Zarude movie out on like Pokemon Day, aren't they?
Yeah.
That'd be a good call.
Because, yeah, it's probably...
It's not going to happen for Christmas.
No. Well, Japan will get it for Christmas. I think it's in theaters in Japan, so good luck. I don't know what a Japanese movie theater looks like, though.
I don't either.
Does it look like an American movie theater? Or does it look like some...
What else would it look like?
I don't know, like some spaceship? They're in the... Japan's always ahead of us, right? They got...
Is it like a karaoke booth where you'd have a couch and a screen and 4 people? Because I'd be into that.
That'd be actually pretty cool.
I mean, it looks the same. It looks just like ours.
Oh, bummer.
Wait, hold on. There's a mini theater? Is this actually in Japan? No. Oh, wait, a mini theater is a type of Japanese independent movie theater that is not under the direct influence of any major film companies. It still looks like our theater.
It's not mini in any way.
Yeah. The Tokyo theater looks like the same. Like, I'm not seeing... This is gripping content.
I am curious if they're going to do anything for Sword and Shield. Because...
Yeah.
Just seems like that's a long time between... I mean, we had a full year of Sword and Shield. During that full year, we had 2 expansions. Assuming that another Pokemon game comes out in the fall, which is not always the case, but mostly the case.
True.
That's a whole year of nothing. And I don't... As much as I love the free... As much as I love the promoted raid weekends they do once a month, or they have been doing once a month, that's obviously doesn't appeal to everyone. And they keep rotating the seasons of what Pokemon are allowed and not allowed. And I think Series 7, which is the current rule set, goes till the end of January. But again, that also doesn't appeal to everyone. I don't personally think there's going to be like this final expansion that adds the remaining 260 missing Pokemon. I don't see that.
Oh, heck no.
But
yeah.
I don't know what else they would do.
I already told you. The Kanto ticket's coming.
That train from Europe to Japan.
Yep. A bullet train from Europe to Japan. It goes under the sea a couple of times.
It goes through Kalos, though. You'll be able to see Kalos on your way to Kanto.
That's what they're going to do. Because remember on that section of the Kalos map, there was the train station that went nowhere?
Oh my gosh. This is literally conversations people on... I don't even know what's worse than Reddit.
The train is going to go from Galar through Sinnoh, not stop in Sinnoh, no remakes for Gen 4, loop around Johto a couple of times, and end in Kanto.
All right. This is what we're missing.
Everything?
Even though it's the 25th anniversary, they kind of like went overboard with all of the... During the 20th anniversary for original blue, green, red, yellow.
Yeah, why would they not do it again? Why would they not just put like red, blue, and yellow on Switch?
Because we are also at the 20th anniversary of Pokemon games that came out in 2000. Oh, that's 15th anniversary. Dagnabbit.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking at 2000. All right. What Pokemon games came out in 2000? You ready? Pokemon Puzzle Challenge.
Okay.
We're getting a remake of that. Pokemon Puzzle League.
That was the good one.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Pokemon Stadium 2.
Oh,
Pokemon Crystal. And Pikachu's Great Surfing Adventure. Now, games that came out in 2005, and this is really what I was looking at. Poke Park Fishing Rally DS.
Wouldn't we be looking at 2001 for 20th? Did you say 2000 or 2001?
Oh, dagnabbit, you're right. It's next year. Oh, man, my calculations are off. All right, 2001.
Man, that's hard. Let's go shopping.
Pokemon Card GB2. Okay.
All right, well, it's not that one. As much as
Pokemon Card GB2. Here comes Team GR. Okay. Pokemon Crayon Kids.
That's it. That's getting remade.
Oh, I'm excited for whatever that was.
For some reason, Super Smash Bros. Melee is listed as a Pokemon game.
Yes, they are
Pokemon
listed on
Party-
Pokemon.com as well.
Pokemon Party Mini, Pokemon Zany Cards, Pokemon Pinball Mini, Pokemon Puzzle Collection. Those are all your 2001s.
Ooh, I could deal with a new Pokemon Pinball on the Switch.
Our 2006s, Pokemon Ranger.
Yeah!
Pokemon Ranger 15th anniversary. Pokemate? I don't even know what that is. Is that a dating app?
Yeah, it was predated OkCupid.
Pokemon Diamond and Pearl 15th anniversary. Pokemon Battle Revolution. There you go. Those are your 15s.
I miss Battle Revolution. It was a bad game, but
I mean,
it had a little charm to it.
Pokemon Battle Revolution was fun. It was just not enough fun for the
price. It was like
it was
if you
just
bought,
so expensive.
It was like if you bought just the dojo part of Isle of Armor.
Yeah.
It was just like, this is good, but this is all you get. And you're not allowed to leave this building.
Well, sounds like it's appropriate for this day and age.
Okay.
I mean, it did give us a great soundboard, though.
That's true. It's how we know how to say Milotic correctly. Speaking of announcements for announcements, let's switch over to some Pokemon Go news real quick. A couple hours ago, Niantic tweeted a raid with a 48-hour timer above it. As of us recording this podcast, the timer has like 28 hours left or something. And it said like incoming transmission, and then it showed the timer, and then it showed a pink egg, which if you don't know your colors off the top of your head, the pink eggs are 1-star eggs. Used to be 2-star eggs as well, but they got rid of 2 stars. The yellow eggs are 3-star eggs, and then the legendary and then mega. So legendary is the silver eggs, and then mega is the weird mega DNA egg looking things. I guess they're tan, but then they glow colors. There are 4 eggs in Pokemon Go, and this is a pink one. They made a 40-second video of this egg spinning, so I would assume that somebody at Niantic didn't pick the wrong color, although I wouldn't put it past them.
What's on the banner on the plane that flies past?
Oh, I can explain this. So they had 2 trailers for this announcement of the announcement. If you're wondering when the 48 hours is supposed to end, it ends the day the Kalos Pokemon get added to the game, which is December 1st, I think. And this is what we talked about last week with Bobby, which Bobby thought the egg was going to be Scatterbug. And I said, I don't know if that seems right. And then I forgot what Greg and I speculated.
I'm still on Furfrou, so...
Oh, yeah, Furfrou.
Furfrou, and I'll get all the haircuts. And you're all like, never gonna be Furfrou.
So
you just shoot down all my good ideas.
So I tweeted this yesterday, but right before it flickers to the egg, it flickers to the psychic background on psychic Pokemon. There's only like 78 new Pokemon in Kalos or something like that. There's not a lot of them that are
not that many.
Psychic. But there is one psychic Pokemon that stands out. And then if you watch the second trailer, there's a plane that is flying, and there's a number on the plane, and that number is the same number as Esper's Pokedex number.
Oh.
It's like 677 or something like that. I love the internet because you can you can watch people set their own expectations, and then you can watch them 48 hours later get extremely mad at everyone but themselves. Let me give you an example. Yesterday, when they first showed this trailer, the amount of comments I saw of, oh, it's going to be Mew, and they're going to turn it shiny finally. Okay, yeah, sure. I'm sure Niantic's going to put Mew in a 1-star raid. Or maybe, yeah, I'm sure they forgot that maybe that mythical Pokemon shouldn't be in a pink egg and it should maybe be in a silver egg or something. But yeah, sure, maybe Mew. Oh, they're bringing back Mewtwo. Okay, well, let's apply the first logic to that as well. Mewtwo has always been in the silver legendary raid. But yeah, sure, maybe they just messed up. Maybe pink egg, no big deal. I liked Hoopa. That was a good one too. Zygarde as well. Oh, gosh, what else did people suggest? Those are the four that I saw a lot. Was Mew with being shiny, of course. Mewtwo, Zygarde, and Hoopa. Oh, the other one I saw a lot was Galarian Slowpoke, which Galarian Slowpoke would fit a pink egg, a 1-star raid. But why would you release a Pokemon debuted in Gen 8 on the day you're promoting Gen 6?
Yeah, very true.
So now that fast forward to today, because all of those speculations were yesterday, and I think people have finally accepted it's Esper because of the number in the background. And now people are mad because why would Niantic hype up Esper, this Dex filler Pokemon?
Aww.
There are plenty of things that Niantic has done / the Pokemon Company has done that has definitely surprised me, but Esper is not one of them. I feel like I remember the launch of X and Y pretty well, and I remember that people wouldn't shut up about Esper. Like out of all the new Pokemon, Esper was talked about a lot. There was a lot of fan art of Esper. There was a lot of memes with Esper.
Well, yeah, because it's got those eyes.
Yeah.
That just kind of stare.
It probably had
dead eyes.
The most merchandise of any Pokemon that wasn't a starter or a legendary in that generation as well. So yeah, I don't know. You could say like, why hype up Esper? Why make Mareep so rare? Like,
it's just a sheep.
Yeah, it's like Mareep is like one of the first sheep you find in Gold and Silver. Like, it's why did they make it so rare? I don't know. Why did they put Vullaby, a Pokemon that no one really cares about, in 12k Team Rocket eggs? Like that question is kind of silly because like that in itself is something not new. How Pokemon Go treats just random Pokemons. And they have been successful with it, right? Like, people do care when they see a Mareep in the wild. People did care when they say they saw a Gibble in the wild. Like, in past Pokemon games, Gibble is not that hard to find. Heck, in Sword and Shield, you find a cave with 40 Gibbles running around you. Like, also, like, Pokemon Go has made Shinx this Pokemon that people are willing to spend $1 on because, hey, it's only in raids and it could be shiny. So I think it's fine. It's whatever. Like, I remember...
How many dollars did you spend for your shiny Shinx? I know you keep track of every dollar you dollar per Pokemon.
I think I've only used free raid passes.
I know exactly how much you spent for
Deoxys.
Was it Terrakion?
I didn't spend that much for Terrakion. I think I only spent $8 on him.
You spent like $1 billion for Deoxys.
I did, yeah. Deoxys was my the only one that I really spent a lot on. Yeah, I probably $8. Like, I usually only use free raid passes on like Shinx, unless there's a bunch of people around and they're like, jump into Shinx with us, and I was like, all right, peer pressure. So I guess get excited for Esper.
Okay,
nah.
I will.
Finish the Pokemon Go news here real quick. Not a lot of stuff. Obviously, Gen 6 launching soon. Level 50 launching soon as well. Beginning on Tuesday, December 1st. Again, this is when all the changes are happening. Mega Blastoise, Mega Charizard Y, Mega Pidgeot, and Mega Houndoom will be leaving Mega Raids. Mega Raids will now feature Mega Charizard X, Mega Gengar, and Mega Abomasnow. Kyurem will be returning to Raids from December 1st to January 1st for the whole month to encounter the Boundary Pokemon.
Can it be shiny?
It doesn't say, so probably no.
So no. That's a no.
Kyurem's been in... Yeah, this is the second time Kyurem came back, right? Yeah.
Yes. I know I have a Kyurem. That's all. And
in addition...
we took on a Kyurem in Community Day, I think, Will. By that church.
I believe you are correct, yes.
The Church of Kyurem.
Yep.
Mega Abomasnow making its debut. And then the Spotlight Hours every Tuesday night. Tuesday, December 1st will be Seal. December 8th, Swinub. December 15th, a surprise Pokemon. It's probably Pikachu. I don't know.
Mewtwo.
Mew. but shiny.
Lugia.
December 22nd, Snorunt. December 29th, Snover. Your double catch XP will end on December 31st. And yeah, I think... last bit of Pokemon Go news. Mesprit, Uxie, and Azelf have returned. And they will leave on Monday, November 30th at 1 p.m. PST. They were here for a week. You could remote raid pass with them. They're leaving again. I'm sure they'll be very excited to bring them back and give them a special move and then take them away and then bring them back and make them shiny and then take them away and then bring them back and make them shiny and give them the special move.
I still only have Azelf.
I don't think I have any of them.
It's all right. Well, let me just repeat what I just said. They'll take them away.
I mean, I'm not worried about it.
Okay, I think that's all we got for Pokemon Go and the Thanksgiving Day stuff. Also to go back to the Thanksgiving stuff, they did release this new Pikachu logo with a 2 and a 5 on its cheeks, and then the background with all the starter Pokemon, which looks really cool. They did update Pokemon.com to have that new branding. Okay, let's take a break. We're going to talk about this Uri Geller stuff and some other TCG stuff, and I think that's it. So we will be right back.
Cool.
Full disclosure. Full disclosure. I am partnered with Build-A-Bear. I'm partnered with Netflix. I am partnered with Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and pretty much all of the internet. Full disclosure. Full disclosure. I am partnered with Tokyo Disney. I'm partnered with Bear Walker. I am partnered with thousands of 7-Elevens that are literally next to each other in Japan. Full disclosure. Full disclosure. Full disclosure. I'm partnered with Horacio. I am partnered with Hoto Tukiai. Full disclosure. I'm partnered with 20 or so Pikachu in a boat. I am partnered with BigBootySquirrel.com. Full disclosure. Full disclosure. Full disclosure. Full disclosure. Hey, hello. If you're listening to this, that means you've made it to the middle of the podcast, and we changed our Patreon name thingy a bit ago, so I just wanted to give you an update. I usually do one of these middle ad segments for Patreon if you want to support the show. Our Patreon is now patreon.com/PKMNcast, so it's exactly the same as the Twitter, the YouTube, the Twitch, the TikTok, the whatever, Instagram, everywhere. Pretty much universally now the same. Also, isc.cash still works, still takes you there. If you enjoy the show, you would like to support throughout the rest of the year and going into next year, if you want to find a community of Pokemon fans, for $2 a month, you can support It's Super Effective. You can support the podcast, What I Do for a Living, and you can join our Slack community with over 400 different trainers, and they're all great, and they're all very nice, and they're all very funny, and they all like to make fun of me after the podcast comes out in our Slack community. So that's what happens. There's other reward levels too. Also, Patreon rolled out, so instead of you paying $2 a month, you can pay for a whole year up front, and you can get a 10% discount on that. And then that also, again, still supports. So if you're interested, if you like to support the show, if you like listening, and you want to take it a little bit further, either patreon.com/PKMNcast, PokemonCast, or Pokemon Podcast is what it's short for, or ISE.cash will also get you there. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the episode. Thank you for your support for listening. And thank you to anyone who does support on Patreon. It means a lot. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, enjoy the episode. And we are back. Let's do the Uri Geller stuff. So we're going to trace this back a little bit, because on Saturday, this news kind of broke, but it actually started a little bit before that. I believe it started on Friday, and I believe the source was because of an article on The Gamer.
What is The Gamer?
It's a website.
I I can tell you at the top of their website, they have Genshin Impact, TG Originals, which I'm assuming is the Gamer Originals, game news, guides, reviews, more. This was written by Josh Coluson, and it's titled Why There Hasn't Been a Kadabra Pokemon Card for Almost 20 Years, which is correct. I believe it's been 19 years. So, and then it starts off with update. Geller has since reached out to the gamer to comment on the situation. We'll get to that first. Let's go over this article. Kadabra hasn't appeared on a Pokemon card since the early 2000s. I think exactly 2001 in the very last set that Wizards of the Coast printed. Which I can't remember what that set is called off the top of my head. But the reason that Kadabra hasn't appeared is thanks to the spoon-bending illusionist Uri Geller. Pokemon cards weren't just something kids bought frantically in the late 90s. As the case with pretty much everything Pokemon has put their name on, the TCG has continued to grow into something bigger we can only imagine. Now close to 1,000 Pokemon. That's not the case for Kadabra, though. The first-gen Psychic Pokemon hasn't been on a Pokemon card of its very own since the early 2000s. Not because it's waiting in line for its next opportunity, but because the real-life person it is based on. In Japan, Kadabra's name is Yungerer. It gets that along with the spoons found in its hands from the illusionist Uri Geller. Not so much from Geller per se. It was more of a case of Pokemon's creators naming Kadabra without letting the magician know. It didn't sit well with Geller, and at the turn of the century, he decided to take legal action. Geller not only sued Nintendo in 2000 for basing Kadabra on him, but he requested that the Pokemon stop being used in the TCG. Here we are 20 years later, and it would appear that the ruling still stands. Since Kadabra is the middle evolution Pokemon, including Abra and Alakazam, Geller's lawsuit only proved problematic for 3 Pokemon rather than 1. Even though both appear in the TCG, their inclusion is problematic since Kadabra cannot join them. There have been workarounds over the years, which is true. There's plenty of Alakazam cards that just are Alakazam or just Abra, Rare Candy, Kadabra. or Abra, Rare Candy, Alakazam. Abra was included in the Mysterious Treasure set. That was the set. That was the last set it was in. Last set that Wizards of the Coast printed. Pokemon eliminated the problem of Kadabra's absence by giving Abra the ability to leapfrog straight into Alakazam. As for Kadabra's evolved form, it also has appeared sporadically over the years. However, when it does make an appearance, it is a basic Pokemon, so it doesn't need to have the evolved form of Kadabra. Alakazam has appeared in EX and in V cards. That's true. There's in the newest set, Vivid Voltage, there is Alakazam V. Needless to say, Kadabra cards are pretty hard to come by. And that was pretty much the entire article. There's not a lot to it, right? It's just a pretty general article that says it doesn't really go into the lawsuit. It kind of just talks about the last set it was in, some new cards. But I guess Uri Geller saw said article and then commented on it. He commented on it, but he pretty much, let me see if I can get his exact tweet here. His exact tweet is, I am truly sorry for what I did 20 years ago. Kids and grown-ups, I am releasing the ban. It's all up to Nintendo to bring back my #Kadabra, #Pokemon card back. It will probably be one of the rarest cards now. Much energy and love. And then he posted his website, UriGellerMuseum.com. That's kind of it.
Yeah.
So basically, he has realized that he's completely irrelevant and was like, let me grasp at straws by trying to attach myself to this very popular franchise or media conglomerate.
Oh, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Skyridge was the last time Kadabra appeared, which was 2002 in Japan, so about 18 years ago. Do you think, though, I'm sure he was mad. Obviously, he sued Nintendo for his likeness, but he probably just forgot about it, right?
Well, I think he sat on it. thinking that at some point they would come through with money. And instead they're just like, or no, we're just never gonna print it again. Like, we'll just work around it. And then it's interesting that after the 25th anniversary is announced, he comes forward and says, oh, hey, you can let this happen again. So I'm sure the 25th anniversary did its job to remind everybody that this is a thing. And I'm sure he's just like, I'm sick of getting these mail. Also, I'm not relevant, and certain segments of the population think I'm dead. I might as well at least grab a bit of headlines right after the 25th anniversary hits and everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, I can see that.
I just love the fact that we'll bring my Kadabra. Yours? What? No, it doesn't belong to you.
Okay, so the actual news here is the amount of people that didn't realize that there hasn't been a Kadabra card in 18 years.
Well, I mean, that is the news right there.
Yeah, that's the actual news. Yeah, because over the years, there's been plenty of ways to, like rare candy, abilities, V cards, EX cards. There's been plenty of ways to play Alakazam. I don't think there's ever been there's probably been like one or two okay Alakazams, but I can't think of any off the top of my head that saw like a lot of play regardless. But at the time, Pokemon was the biggest thing in the world when he did this lawsuit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pull Snorlax Monster's tweet, who works with Bubblepedia, and he's been on the show before, but his exact tweet is, he had a really solid case. They based the Pokemon almost directly on his likeness, with the Japanese name being almost exactly the same as his name, and he performed his signature trick, which is the bending of the spoons. You have a Pokemon that's like based on you doing the thing that you do, which is bending spoons, and now the thing is the biggest thing in the world at the time, and you're not seeing any money, or no one asked you, or it's also the same as like Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. I almost said Bruce Chan. Bruce Lee and Bruce Chan.
Bruce Chan and Jackie Lee. I mean,
Did they sue Pokemon?
No, they never did.
Let's be fair. Bending spoons happened and has existed long before Uri Geller. Like, people claiming that, they stole his trick? No. It's one of the things he does. The problem was the name. He also didn't like the star on the forehead and the lightning patterns because he felt that those were symbolism for the SS, which it's a bit of a stretch in being Israeli. Like, that was part of his whole thing, and he didn't feel like they were honoring him with the name, and B, that they were mocking him by picking highly charged imagery on this Pokemon. There's a lot of stretching in there, except for the name.
Yeah.
The name, they really should have done something different. I mean, it's close enough that people are like, I can see it. But I think a lot of people, and the Nintendo company included, thinks like bending spoons has existed since when people trying to rip people off existed, like all time. Like when spoons were invented and became metal, they've been scamming people over this trick forever, especially, in Victorian era when the whole psychic thing was huge. It was a weak case except for the name, which is why they just let it sit. Like, if he had a strong case, it wouldn't have sat for 20 years.
Do you think Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan would have had a better / equal case with Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan?
No, because those Pokemon don't look like them.
Yeah.
And honestly, you can honestly say in all of Asia, there's lots of Lees and there's lots of Chans.
I mean, they based the name off of their fighting style, which it kind of that whole area is really gray with fair use and parody and blah 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 blah. Like, there's a lot of gray area and there's not a lot. His case was based on you're defaming my character, and that is not easily proved by anything that is in there. Like, that is part of the reason why the case has just literally gone nowhere, because you still have to prove that it's causing harm to you. Like, his whole idea is that it made him the laughingstock. Newsflash, you already were.
Yeah.
Whether or not you believed that this didn't add or take away from that, which is why it's literally gone nowhere. I mean, it's been sitting in court waiting for an agreement until he finally gave up. I mean, if he had a solid case, they would have had to have fixed everything. They would have had to removed it from the games. They would have had to remove it or pay him a lot of money. He didn't have a solid case. He still doesn't.
Yeah.
So it's so... I get frustrated. People are like, oh, totally. Like, no, it's not totally. You are making the leap that he made, but it's also a leap you don't have to make. Like, when somebody points it out, and then you're like, oh, yeah, I see it. Oh, yeah, I see it. But you didn't immediately think Uri Geller when you saw that Pokemon.
No, because Uri Geller is all but forgotten to
right.
today's kids.
That's why I like love your guys' input. It's because I remember so the last card was 2004? 2002. So I would have been 13, 14 years old. And like I remember them talking about Uri Geller and Kadabra at the time. I remember that, like, oh, that dude's a magician and that dude's bends spoons, and like that's kind of it. And then I didn't really think anything of it besides like, oh, they might not make Kadabra cards anymore. So like I didn't know as a kid, I didn't know how big Uri Geller was, and obviously as a kid I didn't understand lawsuits or anything.
I mean, Uri Geller was popular in the 70s, right? Like, he was a big illusionist magician way back in the day. And then he claimed he had psychic powers, which, whatever. And that's what started the fight between him and James Randi that has dogged them forever. And, like, if he was
you're saying in 2002 he was already, like, washed up?
Yeah, nobody...
Heck yeah.
He hadn't had... I don't think he had a television special, a book, a tour. I don't think he had any of those since the late 80s at best. Because he had started a bunch of lawsuits in the 90s that once again went nowhere. And then he sued again in 98 for the same reason that he sued the Pokemon Company, saying that what they were showing and debunking psychic feats was unfair to him and other magicians because they're real psychics. He sued IKEA because in 1999, he sued IKEA for having bent legs that was called the Uri line. So he took them on because bending is his thing. He is so desperate for fame that he sues everybody. And he keeps thinking he's going to win. And he doesn't. He's just irrelevant. But, you know, Nintendo's like, fine, if this is how you're going to be, we're just going to skip it. And I think as he's getting older, realizing, look, I might as well become a good guy to a bunch of people at their 25th anniversary. I mean, he's 73.
Yeah, yeah, I looked up how old he was. I mean, it is, the timing is perfect. And I saw that the author of the Josh Kalusin, I saw that the author said that he wrote the Kadabra article, why Kadabra hasn't been in TCG for 20 years. He wrote that, he said like a couple months ago, but he just, well, it wasn't like completely done. And he just decided to publish it this past week, which makes sense because, you know, Pokemon is now on everyone's mind because they said it at the Macy's Day Parade. So the timing was really great. And then I'm sure Uri Geller saw the article specifically about him.
Yep.
Saw that Pokemon.
You know that dude has a Google alert.
Oh, heck yeah.
You know he's got a Google alert. Is anybody in the world talking about me? Please, please, please.
Saw that, you know, this is the 25th anniversary next year, and then he decided to make a statement. I mean, it all lines up. But yeah, the author was like, oh yeah, this was just something I was working on and off on. I just decided to publish it this week. I don't blame him for publishing it this past week because, yeah, Pokemon's in the news this week. So good time to publish because they're not a specific Pokemon website. You know, they just publish game news. Like maybe it's hard to be excited about it because like, I'm sure they already have the next, like, 1 year of sets planned out for the TCG. In Japan, at least, because they release sets once a month. I'm sure they know what they're releasing, September of 2021 in Japan, because they just continue to produce cards left and right. So I think it would be maybe slightly more exciting once a Kadabra card does show up, but at the end of the day, it's like, it's so irrelevant in, like, the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
100%. Yep.
Like, so many people didn't even know there wasn't Kadabra cards. So, I'm sure there are plenty of Haunter cards. There are plenty of Machoke cards. Name your middle evolution. They got them. Name how much they're actually used. It's just a filler card, right?
It's a skip over.
Even with middle evolutions that existed, most decks just ran rare candies to get around it. Like, the only middle evolution that was, like, pretty dominant was probably, like, Frogadier. And that's only because Frogadier had, like, a really good... Frogadier could help you find other Frogadier, so it was, like, actually really good. But most of the time, you would just rare candy around it in the TCG. I don't remember the last time Kadabra showed up in the anime. Because the ruling was just for TCG stuff, which again makes sense at the time because TCG was like the biggest thing back then. But I don't remember the last
anime appearance.
Also, it's easier because because TCG cards are like a print production. Then, copyright and that kind of legal stuff is easier to apply than to, say, a video game production or an animated production, right? Print is very clear because you can say, authorship and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it looks like the last time Kadabra appeared was the 146th episode of Ruby and Sapphire, which was the 420th episode of the Pokemon anime.
Nice.
It was broadcasted in Japan on 2005 and in the United States in 2006. And that was... The card ban was 2001? 2002? I forgot.
2001.
So yeah, Kadabra hasn't appeared in the anime for 14 years?
I mean, a lot of things haven't.
That's not saying that much because it's a Gen 1 Pokemon, and as they proceed through the generations, they don't necessarily bring back ones from older generations.
Yeah.
I mean, I would expect at some point we may now see it in Journeys. I mean...
Also, the last time Jinx appeared in the anime was also 2006.
They've been cleaning house.
Yeah, I think his apology might have been slightly better if he didn't say my Kadabra and he didn't then plug his website at the end of the post.
No,
I mean
he's just trying to latch on to this star to bring some relevance to dying fame.
Yeah, I just love his pinned tweet. Do you believe the CIA does? No. It doesn't. But sure.
Well, there's his, probably the next time I think people will talk about Uri Geller is probably when he passes away.
When he actually dies and nobody thinks that he died.
And then people will be like, you remember when he got into a tiff with Nintendo?
What was that dude who fought over that Kadabra thing? He died.
Speaking of TCG stuff, there's another TCG box. The Sword and Shield Elite Trainer Box Plus, featuring Zacian or Zamazenta. As the name suggests, there are two different versions of the set, one focusing on Galar's region legendary warrior Pokemon. Which set you choose, either Zacian V or Zamazenta V, will also feature 65 card sleeves. Elite trainer boxes will contain a variety of shiny metal accessories. You will get a metal coin featuring Zacian Zamazenta, 6 metal damage counter dice, and a set of metal condition markers. These are normally plastic, by the way. Not only that, but it will include a player's guide, a rule book, and a whopping 12 booster packs from the Sword and Shield series. It doesn't specifically say what booster packs, but that would probably include, I'm assuming, Sword and Shield, Rebel Clash, Darkness Ablaze, Vivid Voltage. I think those are the 4. I don't think I'm missing one. Usually an Elite Trainer box is 8. If it's a special one like Champion's Path, it's 10. But this is 12. Yeah. Apparently they came out on November 20th. I have not seen these in stores at all. But also, I can't find any Pokemon stuff in stores because it's all still sold out everywhere.
Can we talk about how Pokemon.com needs to do better in these articles?
What's wrong with this article besides...
As a nod to the strength of these legendary metal type Pokemon?
Metal is... Yeah, they're not
that's
steel.
in the TCG, yes.
It's metal is... It's not also... What is the... Electric is not called electric.
Lightning?
It's called lightning.
Yeah.
Why are they switching names around?
It's always been metal in the...
But you have a... Why?
Well, Metal Geller pressed charges for using his spoons.
The steel industry was like, we're going to sue. We're going to sue.
Steel industry very upset. Yeah, I don't know. It's always been metal.
I even think they don't... I may be wrong, but I think it's like it's not dark energy, but it's darkness energy.
Darkness, yep. It's darkness, yeah. Darkness.
Why?
Is it because it's more universal, probably, right? Like, I don't know. Is like fire type in German called fire type, or is it called like... Dang, I don't know a good German word for a pun.
You don't know German at
all! Guten Tag!
Schnitzel type.
Yeah, the TCG stuff is still out of control. People still cannot find Vivid Voltage, the newest set. I believe there is a reprint of Vivid Voltage coming out in January.
Like, it makes... Why do some of them match and other ones don't? Like, the only ones that don't match, lightning, darkness, and metal. It's... Why?
Well, yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Water,
Greg.
fire.
It's
they never...
just the way it is.
Look, they tried to bring in Fairy. It didn't work. If they would have named it like...
If they dump Fairy, they can fix the names.
But the TCG doesn't have every type, though.
Which is also a problem.
No, that would make the game worse.
I mean, they have a lot of types. They have Retro Energy. They have Heal Energy.
They do. They do have those. Those are special energies.
Prism Energy. Blend Energy.
Look.
Flash Energy.
Well, those are just, those are special energy.
Burning Energy. Splash Energy. I mean, they're already out of control. Aroma Energy. They have Stone Energy. That's
Aroma Energy is new. It just came out with Vivid Voltage.
See, they could be fixing these things.
Okay, but like Aroma Energy or Rainbow Energy, you can only have 4 in your deck. Whereas like
Horror Energy,
Darkness Energy, you can have as many as you want. It's more like
this is like dual lands and Magic. Shock lands, tapped lands. Just clean up your stuff.
Fetch lands.
Ugh. This is why nobody likes trading card games.
It's probably true. Hey, they retconned Eevee recently. They can retcon some other stuff.
In the game? In the TCG?
No, in the video games. Because in Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, they gave the female Eevee the heart tail, and then they rolled it out in Pokemon Go, and then they rolled it out in Sword and Shield.
That's not a retcon. That's a change.
Oh.
That's just a straight up change. They just decided, hey, guess what? This happens now.
All right, final bit of news here is off Pokemon.com. Recruit Galarian Slowpoke in Pokemon Cafe Mix team event. I wonder whatever happened to that PKMNcast group.
Well, since you refuse to play horizontal games because of your weak wrists and the way you hold your phone weird, you'll never know.
I was going to join the PKMNcast group, but that was spelled wrong, and then the person who spelled it wrong apologized and then left the group, and then it put somebody else in charge of the group, and we don't know who that person is.
Oh, down the rabbit hole we go.
We can't make a new group because it shares the name with the other group, which is spelled technically wrong. Anyways, a new team event has begun in Cafe Mix. You can work with your squad to convince Galar and Slowpoke to join your cafe. From November 18th through December 2nd, a dopey Pokemon will swing by your cafe for delicious treats. As you and your team complete orders, you will earn stars to raise Galar and Slowpoke's satisfaction. Orders 551 through 600 have been added to the game. Jeez, seems like a lot. Expert players will be able to take on Master Cafe to level 276. To 300 have just been added. Good luck recruiting Galarian Slowpoke. And that's it. They're still supporting this game. That's probably good. People probably like it.
I enjoyed it while I played it. Oh, were we going to talk about the Masters tickets thing?
Oh, yeah. That was our final bit of news.
Okay.
I was just going to say they have given more fan service to Cafe Mix this year than the 4 years Pokemon Duel existed.
This is very true. Very true.
Poor Duel.
Oh, we should talk about the TCG drama in the PTCGO. We'll save that till next week.
Okay.
Because that'll... Unfortunately, I didn't plan the Uri Geller stuff to happen, and that was 25 minutes of our life we're never getting back.
25 minutes that Yuri's excited about it.
Last bit of news before we move on is just a minor Pokemon Go news. They are adding their first Gen 8 trainer, which is Gloria.
Not Go, Masters.
Oh, sorry, did I say Go? My bad.
Yeah. I was like, what?
Full disclosure, I am partnered with DNA. Some people didn't know the protagonists' names. Gloria and Victor. It's supposed to be like Glory and Victory.
Oh, nice.
That's what it's like, sword, shield, glory, victory. Anyways, Gloria is being added. She will appear between November 29th, 10 p.m. to December 20th, 10 p.m. She will be with Zacian, which I think is... Some people were saying it's backwards, because normally it's like the boy is the first game and the girl is the second game. So it's Elio and Celine for like Sun and Moon, Elio.
Yeah.
But in this case, I think people were referencing she got Zacian because Zacian's the girl, even though also this blew people's minds. So Zacian and Zamazenta are genderless Pokemon, but if you read Zamazenta's Pokedex entry, it says specifically that Zacian is his older sister. Zacian is older than Zamazenta, and the Pokedex refers to it as a sister. This isn't the first time they've done that, because Manaphy is also a genderless Pokemon, but the Pokedex entry refers to Manaphy as the Prince of the Sea. I don't know why. I'm not here to argue about Pokemon genders.
Are you talking about the voice controversy, that she's not Scottish?
Would she be Scottish?
People, because she wears somewhat stereotypically or traditional Scottish outfit with the hat and everything, so people were assuming that her voice would be Scottish, but definitely over in the Britain side with their voice actor. So there was a bit of a thing. People were like, she has a voice and it's British.
I don't know anything about Scottish or British clothes to make that assumption.
Yeah, I agree.
It's the hat and the sweater.
They also gave a bonus, which I think, as long as you log in 5 days between now and December 20th, you will get these tickets. You will get 120 Scout tickets. How much does it cost, Greg, to pull from that? 25,
30.
Right?
30.
Oh, it does cost exactly 30.
Yeah, it costs exactly 30.
So you get 4 free 5-star pulls, which I would argue is pretty generous.
It's generous.
You don't get to pick the polls.
You don't get to pick.
They are random. Welcome to Gotcha. But they are all 5 stars.
And it's not clear if new upcoming 5 stars, aka Gloria, will be added into that pool.
Oh, that's what I was saving my tickets for. Because what if they add new sync pairs to it? But I'm sure people have already spent them.
I've already spent them.
What? Why didn't you save them?
Why?
What if they add Gloria?
I have a bunch of 5 stars I need to get. The chances of me getting Gloria are just as bad. Like, what are the appearance rates?
I think it's like 3% for each one in that bundle. There are also
offering rate. Everything's at 3.448. So
that's pretty good. Better than a shiny.
I mean, I'm probably like having done my initial polls and being like, oh, well, these ain't great. I am going to just see if Gloria's added in.
They changed the app icon. They had a retweet goal where if you retweet, if they got 10,000 retweets, was it 10,000? Something like that. They would give everyone a bonus 3,000 gems, which they hit. I think they hit it within less than 48 hours. They are also giving everyone 10,000 gems by logging in every day for the rest of the year. So that starts, I believe, probably by the time this podcast comes up. So if you haven't played Masters, or you are on and off in Masters, or maybe you just like opening apps and collecting the daily items and then closing the apps, this would probably be the best time to start because you're going to be getting 3,000 gems. I think the 3,000 gems goes out on... Actually, the 3,000 gems should be going out by the time you hear this podcast. And then you can get another 10,000 gems, and then you can get the 4 free 5-star sync pairs. And they are doing a bunch of bonus items, but we don't need to waste anyone's time of like all the other bonus items. You'll just collect them. They'll go into your inventory. You'll eventually use them.
It won't be clear why you have them.
Yeah. You'll be like, what are these 18 different sodas doing? They did announce that 2 new holiday sync pairs are coming. They showed the trainers. One is Skyla, one is Erica. They have not revealed those Pokemon yet for those people. And then they're bringing back Signasuit Red, Blue, and Leaf, which is, you could either argue they're bringing them back because it increases revenue, or they're bringing them back because it's nice. Oh, you know what I was going to ask you, Greg?
Yeah.
Because I don't play any other gacha games.
Uh-huh.
The word on the street is that Pokemon Masters has a lot of banners, and they keep rotating banners very quickly. I haven't played any other Masters games, but my thought process is, why wouldn't you have multiple banners? Because not everyone has every character, and not everyone wants to pull on a different character. And if the only banners you have is like Volkner and Cynthia, and if I'm a player and I don't care about Volkner and I already have Cynthia, then I have no reason to pull. But people are saying that this is a complaint that there's too many banners, but is that how other games do it? Is it actually too many banners, or?
Generally, banners are tied to whatever event is going on in the game. So usually they'll put up a banner to say, hey, we've increased these, or we're adding in this new character. And then in a lot of gacha games, that new character just goes back into the pool. So the banner usually is, here's the heightened of this, and then they go into the general pool. Only rarely do they have like, hey, like Brave Exodus Final Fantasy has specialty banners and specialty characters that only come around once in a while. They're the ones that also sort of do this because they are tied to the very specific characters. But those banners don't come up a lot. Why it's a complaint is there's a lot of banners, which means you have that weird tension of, I don't have anything to look forward to, and I have so many things that are highlighted that I have to split my focus. So it is a sort of weird, like, oh, there's 7 things for me to pull on. Which do I go to? Also, what are you going to add? Because they have the thing of once that banner goes away, those characters go away. So it's like you saying to me, why aren't you saving your 5-star tickets for Gloria? That's part of the problem. Is because they very much do the, once this banner's gone, that character isn't in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where a lot of the complaint comes from. Because it's really sort of frustrating to be like, well, I really need this character, so I'm going to save it for that banner to come around. Maybe, or there's 7 other banners that they have right now with really weird mixtures. the banners tend not to make a lot of sense. They're not great at tying them to things that are going on. So it just sort of comes across as a confused mess. Is it a huge problem? No. It would be nice that once they released a banner, they put that all the characters into the pool and didn't do this thing where they only come around whenever they decide. Like, I think people are used to those things being holiday related and not, this is just a character that exists and you released it for no good reason and then you took it away for no good reason. Like, banners that get removed generally in other games are tied to specific holiday events. And, like, Dragalia, they recycle holiday events. So, in the middle of summer, they're like, we're bringing back Halloween events, and we're going to bring back the Halloween banner for a little bit. Masters doesn't do that.
Only other thing with the Masters is they put out an interesting tweet here. It says, coming soon, a chance to get 10,000 gems on November 29th. Gloria and Zacian from the Galar region will be coming, meaning sync pairs from all regions have arrived to celebrate, and we will be holding a special rally starting today. And then pictured is get up to 10,000 gems, all regions assemble, and we have Red from Kanto, Ethan from Johto, Steven Stone from Hoenn. Then it goes to Gloria from Galar. And then it goes into Cynthia from Sinnoh. What's her name? Oh, I'm blanking on her name right now. Serena from Kalos. And then Hao from Alola. And there is no Gen 5 trainer here. But there are 8 different backgrounds, and there's a hole, and in that hole, it is very, I would use the word, people are speculating that is the throne from Unova, but I think it's very obvious it is the throne from Unova.
Does that mean it's going to be N?
Yeah. That's the speculation, is that they said a special character will be coming later this month, and like all possible characters coming, people guess Diantha.
Yeah.
And it never is her. But because they purposely left out a Gen 5 trainer in this image, and they're showing N's throne, I guess you could maybe say it could be Getsus. But I think
Getsus is never on the throne.
Yeah, true. Yes, N was crowned. Getsus was always like in the background manipulating.
Yeah, he's the vizier off to the side, pulling the strings. Plus, if you look up Throne from Unova, it's literally a picture of Ed sitting on that exact throne with that exact background. So,
yeah, I think that's exciting. I think N is the most popular character from Black and White.
What is N gonna get?
You don't think Skyla's more popular than
well,
N?
All right.
I mean, Skyla's way popular. Which legendary are they giving N?
Reshiram.
Definitely Reshiram. Yes. N was like never seen with Zekrom.
I think maybe in the manga he has both. But yeah.
Well, depending on whether you play black or white, he's got one or the other.
That's true.
But
yeah.
He's always shown with Reshiram.
If they didn't,
we know that Masters does not care and they do whatever they want.
That's not true.
So he's probably going to show up with Volcarona.
I mean, Gloria has a legendary Pokemon that's breaking the starters pattern, so all bets are off.
That's true. But it still makes sense because, the protagonist does
going to show up with an Esper.
Interesting. I like the theory. I guess if they don't give him a legendary, they give him Zoroark, right?
That's a good call. I don't know what Zoroark is going to do in Pokemon Masters, but sure.
Yeah, they're going to give him a Purloin.
I like the Purloin. What if they just give him Lillipup?
Oh, I got a shiny Lillipup today and go.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, fancy.
All right, Greg, give us our question of the week.
I want to hear the question of the week. Only the question of the week will
do. Don't know any of these songs.
It's after Thanksgiving. Get ready, people. We all know what happens to me after Thanksgiving.
Valentine's Day?
No. I am allowed to break into the collection that is forbidden all other times of the year.
So you're going to be like, the weather outside is frightful, but the questions are so delightful.
You got it.
Since we've got no place to go.
Ask away. Okay.
Shout out to Lewis for sending in the Uri Geller stuff. We had a ton of people send that in, but hey, Addict Channel gets their shout outs. This is from Patrick. To piggyback on a Thanksgiving theme, what bird Pokemon would best symbolize for Thanksgiving, since we don't have a turkey Pokemon as of now?
How delicious do you think Ho-Oh is?
True.
I feel like it would be very ashy.
But it would cook itself.
Exactly. To just the right amount.
Why do people think Ho-Oh is a turkey? Did they never see Harry Potter?
I don't think phoenixes have those big peacock-type tails that peacocks and turkeys have.
Yeah.
Turkeys have peacock tails?
Yeah, they have the thing that spreads out. Yeah. Come to my neighborhood. I will show you a bunch of angry turkeys that will display to you.
Maybe
Wisconsin
bike
just has like
yesterday, and I went past like 20 turkeys, and I was like, "Get me out of here before they attack."
They are mean. They are mean and territorial.
I don't know why Minneapolis is overrun with wild turkeys, but
so many wild turkeys.
I don't know. Like I don't think the Pokemon birds are like good eating birds. I mean, Blaziken, yeah. Another one that cooks itself.
Combuskin is a chicken, though, so...
What about Farfetch? You can have duck on Thanksgiving.
Ooh, yeah, you can.
Duck is reserved for Christmas.
I mean, I'll eat duck any day of the week.
I mean, I'll eat duck all the time.
This was my logic. Because Ho-Oh... oh, boy. Because Ho-Oh is obviously a phoenix, right?
No, but go on.
What do you mean, no? It is. Look,
continue.
I don't think there's any debate that it's not obviously a phoenix. Have you played the TCG, Greg? Its ability literally brings it from the discard pile back onto your bench.
No, because the TCG is garbage and uses garbage energy, as we covered earlier.
Darkness, metal.
Yeah, there is no garbage energy.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. There's horror energy, so give it time.
I love horror energy. I would say if we're picking something for Thanksgiving, I would pick unpheasant because
yes,
because pheasants are one of the game birds, such as turkeys. I don't know any other game birds besides
quail.
Okay, quail. Do we have a quail Pokemon though?
No.
Nah.
I don't think I know what a quail is. What
is it? It's a tinier bird.
Does it fly?
Yes.
Turkeys can't fly.
Yes, they can.
Not with that attitude.
I don't think turkeys
can fly. Even chickens can fly, dude.
Where do you think turkeys sleep at night?
I have never thought that in the 30 plus years.
This is the dandelion problem.
I hadn't thought about it either until I was walking my dogs in the morning and a flock of turkeys, angry at me, dive-bombed me from the trees they were sleeping in.
So here's the thing, and it's because you guys, I don't know what the right word is, but you think if something flies that it has to fly like 50 miles. No. A bird can fly that only flies like 10 feet. Like a chicken will fly 10 feet, and that's as far as it's going to go. A turkey will fly up to a tree branch. It's not going to fly across the country. It's no goose. But it can still fly.
Yeah, it still flies. It absolutely flies.
Just doesn't fly a lot.
What about Galar and Zapdos?
What?
That is kind of turkey looking, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Wait, do people eat pheasants? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, people eat ostrich. Ostrich is real good.
Yeah, but
emu is real good.
When okay, hold on. This is a dumb question. People eat pheasants probably the same way they eat turkey, right? Like put it on a sandwich, slice it up.
No, pheasants usually roasted like duck tends to be.
Pheasant is small. It's not big like a turkey.
Like people eat pigeon too, so
So you're saying
True.
turkey is the biggest of the game birds?
Well, turkey's not a game bird.
Yeah,
really.
no.
It doesn't have a gamey taste. We've gotten rid of that. I mean, I'm
Oh, I thought game
Hunters.
birds was just
Well,
a
no,
term of
turkeys are
like,
hunted.
this is a bird we hunt.
No,
it's
it's different.
there's a gamey taste to them. I have to look at the exact term. How is it? Let's see. Game birds: quail, grouse, partridge.
Ooh,
Prairie
grouse. How did we
chicken.
forget that?
Bobwhite. I don't know what a bobwhite is. Pheasant. More grouse. More quail.
Hey, you're not that friendly. It's a Robert
Hey!
White to you.
Wild turkey is official game bird.
Well, yeah, but it has to be a wild turkey.
It has to be a wild turkey, not a domestic turkey.
Oh, I see. So if you're not truly celebrating Thanksgiving if you didn't hunt your own turkey.
What?
They didn't hunt their own turkey back then either. Those things have been raised for as long as chickens have been raised. I wonder how they define what a game bird is.
I think anything that you could hunt then becomes a game bird.
Oh, game bird, a bird hunted for sport or food.
I don't know what gamey means. Like when you say it has a gamey taste. I don't think I've ever eaten.
So you will notice that with some of the non-farmed meats, that there is it's a distinctive flavor to it that
I want to say it's an earthy flavor.
Yeah, it's just less palatable, right? It's
Have
less
you
enjoyable to the human palate.
How do you feel about dark meat on turkey?
Don't like dark meat.
So take the dark meat flavor and intensify it, and that gets near the gamey flavor of a lot of the game birds.
Oh, that doesn't
Like
sound
duck
good.
has a slight gaminess to it, but like if you've ever had goose is a gamey bird.
Yeah.
It's delicious, but it has to be prepared well. And we made a goose once in our house, and never again. Never again. Okay, so back to Ho-Oh is a game bird.
Why would you hunt Ho-Oh?
Because what is he gonna do with it?
He's gonna resurrect your cat when your cat dies.
No, he's not. My cat's not chosen. If my cat shows up with a rainbow feather, I am yanking that rainbow feather as an extra life. That cat already has 9 lives. I have 1.
Also,
Give me that
Ho-Oh
rainbow
cannot
feather.
reproduce. You can take a P-dove and stick it in the daycare with a ditto and produce unlimited dinners.
Look, we're not talking about factory farming at this point.
Yeah.
We are talking
How
about the
dare.
most dangerous game,
The most
succulent game, juicy Ho-Oh, on my table.
No, if you really want like the most exquisite rare meat bird that you can get, you gotta be hunting your Lugias.
Oh yeah,
Take that dude down. Get
I
a
feel
little
like Lugia would be
steak
like-
going on.
Like eating like a fish. It's all wet and
Well,
soggy.
It's kind of like eating seagull or pelican.
can
Yes.
we all agree that Firo would just be stringy and gross?
Yes, 100%.
What about
Skarmory
Togekiss?
would not go down well.
No. Well, it depends.
Togekiss is not a bird.
If you can, like, it depends how thick that metal skin is, because that could be a good cooking vessel on that Skarmory.
Ooh,
Kind of like crab.
Yeah,
gotta
you
crack
throw
it
the
open.
Skarmory on the fire, and it just like heats the outside and just cooks the meat on the inside, and then you unweld and crack that thing
Yeah.
open. You just like dig in. Heck yeah!
Haunch crow? Do people eat crow?
You
No.
don't eat crow.
No, don't eat crow.
Only if you said something that you have to take back.
I mean, unpheasant is, it's a pheasant. It's
Yeah.
not traditional. It's a very old worldy holiday meal, but
True.
Also 420 blackbirds. So you could put a bunch of Haunch crow into a pie and serve
True.
that up.
Do
I
the
mean,
kids
granted-
even like repeat that nursery rhyme any longer?
No.
Oh wow.
What about Celesteela? Is Celesteela good?
What? That's just like a bamboo and rocket engine.
I mean, I do like some bamboo shoots. That's some good
Yeah.
eating right there.
How about we go vegetarian and just eat Jumpluff? Jumpluff salads for everyone.
No, thank you.
So we're settling on Unpheasant.
Yeah.
Given the
I
point
think
to
that's
Steve.
the winner.
What about Pidgeot?
What
I
bird
mean, you
is
could
it
eat
even based
pigeon,
on?
but it's just like nobody wants to.
Oh. Is Pidgeot a pigeon?
What else would it be?
Yeah.
I mean, P-Dove is a pigeon.
Yeah. There are multiple types of pigeons.
All right.
You can eat
Look,
dove.
We can't.
You can
You can eat
actually
dove.
eat dove too. Yeah.
This is literally becoming an animal podcast, and I'm sure there's like 3 people who work at like a zoo that are very upset at this conversation. Mostly me.
Look, I'm looking up all sorts of game bird options. So
All right. Well, Will, give us our Pokemon of the week.
So the last Pokemon of the week, since you guys didn't solve it last week while I was not here, was very short. So let me just read it again. I was hardcore napping and completely missed the text messages from Steve and Greg letting me know that recording was starting, so I did not have a lot of time to prepare this week's Pokemon. In podcast lore, this is the Pokemon that Greg defeated with a level 100 Roselia, I think. It has a primal form and has been featured as the box art for 2 games.
it's
Stantler.
Kroger.
Did you say Kroger, like the grocery store? You're both wrong. Stantler ain't never been box art for nothing.
Oh, that too.
Look, the alternate pronunciation of Kyogre is Kroger. We
That
all
is
know
true.
this. This has been
That's-
well established on this program.
Yes. Kyogre is the correct answer. It is a Kai and an ogre.
I love ogres.
I don't know what a Kai is.
I have
Did
to
you
look
know
up.
that there's a swashbuckler class in Dungeons and Dragons? I
Yep.
did not know that.
Oh, heck yeah. Swashbuckling rogues? Heck yeah.
Kyogre's special attack and special defense and defense stats are reversed of Groudon's. Spencer's has a staff with Kyogre's marking on it. Who is Spencer? Oh, it's that old dude from Battle Frontier.
There you go.
Primal Kyogre has the highest base special attack stat, base special defense stat, and base stat total of all water-type Pokemon.
Ah.
In Pokemon Battle Revolution, Marnia has a costume based off Kyogre.
But not Marnie.
Not Marnie.
No.
Marnia.
Isn't that Marina?
Oh, yeah, probably.
There you go.
In Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, a Kyogre knows Surf will allow players to surf more quickly than others except for Sharpedo. This action has its own animation and larger hitbox. Additionally, a Kyogre that knows Dive will allow the players to avoid underwater trainer battles. This action has its own animation and larger hitbox. I didn't know that. I didn't know in auras that surfing on a Kyogre gives you a different Pokemon.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
I knew the Sharpedo thing.
Kyogre may be a combination of Kai, ocean, and Orca, the whale.
Ah. Why is Kai ocean? Is that like in another language?
In another language.
Yeah.
I think it's Japanese.
Primal Kyogre has a good shiny.
Only Primal Kyogre has a good shiny?
I'm not like huge on the purple Kyogre. I like purple a lot, but I don't know. It kind of reminds me of Barney.
Whatever. Shuffle icon? Was there a Kyogre shuffle icon?
I think there's a primal one too, isn't there?
Yeah.
I don't know. Greg's the arbiter of shuffle icons.
The
They're
shuffle
actually bad.
icon is better than the primal one, and they're both not great.
Yeah, they're actually
Dang.
kind of bad.
That's the first time I've ever heard complaints about the shuffle
Why do
icon.
they feel the
Normally
need
they nail
to
it.
include the fins?
I don't know.
Because otherwise it's just a circle.
Welcome to Shuffle.
Yeah.
Welcome to Voltorb.
All right. This week's Pokemon of the Week is going to be very easy. And I may have done it before. I'm not 100% sure. You do not need to play the TCG to guess this week's Pokemon. In English, this Pokemon has had cards available only in the Sword and Shield expansion, numbers 73 and 74, while in Japanese it has been available as part of V Starter Set Lightning, Sword, V Starter Decks, and Shiny Star V. One of the cards is a basic with 70 HP and 2 attacks, Bite for 10, and Zap Kick for 20. The second, whose art prominently features its heart butt, is also a basic with 70 HP and 2 attacks, Roar, which does no damage, but forces your opponent to switch their active Pokemon with one of their benched Pokemon, and Static Shock, which does 10 damage. The listed Pokédex entry on both cards reads, "This Pokemon is very popular as a herding dog in the Galar region. As it runs, it generates electricity from the base of its tail." There you go. Easy one this week.
Week is looking pretty good here. Podcast goes up. Well, obviously, made it to the end of the podcast. There you go. Wow, you did it. You listened to the first bit of content we produced for the week. I'll be streaming on Twitch all week, like always, except for Thursdays. We will be doing a special Pokemon cooking stream on Friday, December 4th. I bought some of the overpriced Pokemon cooking stuff, the cookie thing and the other thing and the apron, and so we'll be Friday, December 4th on Twitch. Probably.
What you making?
Saying?
Give us a little hint.
I'm gonna be using those cookie things.
Are you making kolaches?
I don't even know what that is.
Well,
I didn't know what they were until a week ago myself.
Are you going to make some Jaffles?
I don't know what that is either.
Ooh, Jaffles.
Yeah.
Twitch.tv/PKMNcast. We'll be streaming all week. Cooking thing on Friday. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the same. PKMNcast for that. Still putting out YouTube content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. There was a couple videos this past week with Irene in them. If you're curious to see, she's way better than me in the video, so that's a reason. If I'm not a reason to watch it, my wife is a reason to watch our YouTube content. Also trying to get to 10,000 YouTube subs before the end of the year. I think we can do it. We got a month left. But if you're not subscribed there, the other thing would be our subreddit, reddit.com/r/supereffective, if you want another subreddit in your life. Otherwise, I think that is our episode. Thank you for listening. You can find me on Twitter at Dragging a Lake, Will on Twitter at Washing the Sink, Greg on Twitter at White Wing, and this has been another episode of the Pokemon Podcast, and we are
super effective.
Super succulent ho-oh meat.
Succulent like a cactus?
Sure. It's the year of the Maractus meat.
You can eat cactus.
Some. Yeah. Don't drink the water.
This podcast is supported by our Patreon supporters, people that give us money. Our producers of the show are Kevin, Casey, Patrick, Jetsy, Matthew, Kay, Catherine, Steph, Brian, and Courtney. And our executive producers are Spencer and Anthony. Thank you, everyone who listens to the podcast, and thank you, everyone who takes the extra mile to support us over on Patreon. We did, as of this month, update our Patreon address, so it is now patreon.com/PKMNcast. Same as the Twitter, the Twitch, the YouTube, the Instagram, everything is all universal now. It is the same, so if you're listening to an older episode where we say that, it's wrong now. And of course the isc.cash up and working, redirecting to that new domain. Thank you again. If you want to support the show, you can head over to isc.cash or patreon.com/PKMNcast, PKMNcast. And I appreciate you guys listening, appreciate the support, and we will see you next week.